This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. It's literally, Camille just wanted me to keep it so really short. I had a bunch of slides. She said 3 slides. I condensed it to 4. This is just for you to see. We can show it to everyone, just the breakdown of what's coming up. Thanksgiving. This is all the Christmas stuff planned. I can answer some questions. And then this is the FIFA World Cup. I finally got the menu. We have a big screen TV, a big inflatable TV. We've got all that stuff. And then this is just the next year, so you can see everything that I put into the budget for next year, just for your point of reference.
Okay.
And then,
But so you're gonna go over all that?
I'll go over all that, but I just wanted to let you know that that's what I had prepared. But you can begin that. That's all you, my love.
I'm Megan. Faye. Oh, Faye.
Sorry, I did not realize. Everyone does not know this is Faye, she's the event manager down at golf.
Nice to meet you.
Today as well.
At the golf course? Yeah. Oh, okay, very good.
Hello to everyone online.
Okay.
I'll let you take the lead if you want.
No,
Would you want me to
I'll
go
let you
ahead?
take the lead.
All right, thanks everyone for coming. Just a couple of quick points and I'll let Megan run off with this. I know Mike has some quick points to say as well. Coming up, we have Thanksgiving, which is our big one. Faith's got the Thanksgiving shotgun on Thanksgiving Day. We've got the Thanksgiving brunch. Still working on getting those reservations.
How many reservations do we have right now?
So right now, I only have 1 reservation for the 11. The 1 p.m. is more popular. I have 18 people at the 1 p.m. I'm reshooting it out. I had another person stop by today, and everything's going to be hung up tomorrow in all of the areas that we have, but I know Faye's got it going down at golf.
Okay, so 18 for the 1 o'clock and then only 1 for the.
Right, so I'm probably going to call the 11 to see if we can only need to do the 1 seating. I was going to see what chef recommended for that.
What are we maxing out at?
Max out is 60 each seating.
Okay.
So, all right, and just real quick, and anybody who's on the committee, I'll have a form for you to sign after. Events upcoming, 2022, I don't know if you guys or not, I'll send it to you guys. So the next thing coming up on the 25th is USA versus England World Cup event. And the flyers that I have for that are at the very end here. Basically, we did go ahead and get the go-ahead. Chef worked up an hors d'oeuvres buffet, $20 per person. That would include soft drinks, I believe, and there's some drink specials on there as well. I got approval to purchase a large screen, a big inflatable screen, and a projector, which we can continue to use. It'll be set up under the tent, so we'll have the buffet, the game, and all the seating under there as well. That, once that gets approved, you'll get it before it goes out for final approval.
Is the lighting going to be good enough in there?
So that was my question too. Camille said she believes it is. I did get a very high lumen on my projector. I did all the reviews and it is used outside at dusk and things like that. So under the tent at that time of day, I think we should be fine. It comes in on Friday, this Friday.
So we can set.
We're going to mess with it and we're going to make sure that we have everything we need for that. And then other than that, the thing I wanted to make sure I talked to everyone about holidays. So I did end up getting some background information of what you've done years past. Some of them was from 2020, 2021. So we can select, if you want to do them all, we can select to do them all. If you don't want to do them all, we can choose one or the other. Sorry, I can't see upside down. Present, there we go. So this is what I have for coming up. Mrs. Buckley has an amazing idea. I'm sure you guys have seen it on Facebook, Light Up Championsgate. She reached out to me. I went ahead and made a flyer up for that to encourage them to use the luminaries to light up their driveways and walkways for the month of December, specifically on the day of Christmas Eve and the golf cart parade as well. I have a holiday tree lighting event, which is going to be on the, I think it's the 3rd. Yeah, third, thank you. So what I did was I just took the information you had from before and tried to incorporate it into what I had this year. So your tree lighting last year, all the same things. I've got ornament decorating, a story time, tree, cookies, milk, hot chocolate. The next couple of days, I'm bringing everything down from the attic to do a good once over on what we have for Christmas. Hopefully it's more than what they told me I had for Halloween. So that is a definite. The next thing is breakfast. Breakfast with Santa, which you did breakfast with Santa last year, 2021. It would be on Sunday, December 11th this year. The only question I have is Santa, who are we going to use for Santa? Marilyn had a recommendation of a neighbor that she has in the neighborhood.
You want to do it?
She is reaching out to him now. I also have 3 other people on the line, but it could be expensive. So, Camille, we wanted to talk to you guys and see where we wanted to appropriate any,
Well, are we bringing a Santa out later on in the month also?
Santa, the only time Santa would be out would be with that Breakfast with Santa. So that's when Breakfast with Santa would be that is on the, what did I say it was, the 11th.
11th, so that's what
Sunday,
we're gonna
11th.
do.
That would be-
Pictures with the kids also.
That would be pictures, that would be included in the price of the pancake breakfast.
How much is that?
Right now, I've got it at the same price as last year, which was 17 and 12. I was just waiting to hear back from Chef to see if there's a lot of change on that. He's been at the golf course all day. So that's one option. A golf cart parade I know is huge. I've got that for December 17th. I did get confirmation from the Osceola County Sheriff's Department. We have 2 sheriffs. Yep.
Good.
So they've already got the golf cart map. I did use the same one from last year. I just enhanced it so they could see better. So it's the same exact route from last year. So they'll be manning west side to cross, and they'll be manning west side Vallecita intersection. So we can start at the plaza, do the same route as last year, and then back up at the plaza.
That's December 17th.
That's December 17th, which is a Saturday. And I'll show you all I'll pass around the actual flyers, which I have in here
That
as
is
well.
also member
Member
weekend at the
weekend.
golf course. That's member
Okay.
Remember.
Member guest,
Mhm.
CGMGA,
Oh,
Remember,
member
yeah,
guest.
that's February. CGMGA,
CGMGA championship,
December 17th and 18th.
date 17th.
So the last thing I have here is the Christmas Eve lunch at the plaza. And this is what I meant by I have multiple years of information. So apparently last year you all didn't do a Christmas Eve brunch. It was the Christmas breakfast with Santa that you did. And then in 2020, you did the Christmas Eve lunch. So I did get Chef to work up a menu for this and keep it on the same price point, which is 45 per person. I'll take a look at it when you go around and decide, do we want to attempt to do both these events, or do we want to choose one of these events? Completely up to you guys. I just gathered all the information you've had from the past couple
Do
of
you
years.
do you guys think it's better to do a bunch of little things or like only a couple big things? You know what I mean? Because
Well, I mean, ideally, a couple big things, in my opinion, are better than a bunch of little things.
I think like the pictures with Santa is important for the community.
Sure.
Obviously, you want to do pictures before Christmas time.
Right.
Like, do we have a photographer set up or we don't have a Santa identified or photographer, correct?
So we'll need a Santa identified for that and a photographer. And then, like I said, we've got had 2 seatings last time, which was the 11 a.m. And then I think a 12:30 for that.
I went to
See a flyer?
The one from last year or this
I
year?
went to a Halloween party this year at a member's house over in K-Track. And it was a great Halloween party. And everybody that came into the party did family pictures. And there was this little kiosk thing. You guys might know what it is. You hit some buttons and you hit like 5, 4, and you all take a picture and you snap it. And then it sends it to your phone automatically. And people can go and print the photos out of Walgreens or whatever it is you want to do.
Oh, I like that.
How do we get one? I think that would be easier than hiring a photographer. We could set that up in front of Santa,
It would definitely be cheaper.
hit the button, they send a link to their phone, and they can print it out.
It also takes out a lot of work of having to go back and get people their pictures with Santa after the fact as well.
Yes, I
Yeah.
can actually reach out to the girl who, that you might know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have a
It
contact.
was Laura Spalding, so I'm gonna ask her about that. It was really nice, and we don't even need a photographer, like you do it yourself. It's so,
Yeah.
you ladies know what I'm talking about,
For
right?
this year, using some of that information, and these will have the actual breakdown of the dinner for Chef if we did the Christmas luncheon. And those are all of those that I need at holiday time. And then the last thing that I would talk about would be New Year's. Camille recommended that we keep the restaurant open for regular service on New Year's, but include an option for, say, a dessert bar, have live music, champagne, so you can upgrade it if you choose to. So you can still come to the plaza, it'll still be decorated, still be gorgeous. Even if you're not here late enough for the ball drop, you have the option of using that, the nice buffet and the dessert buffet. So adding on an additional without it being a full spread is what she recommended. But again, I'm waiting to hear from what you guys think, and then waiting to hear what Chef thinks as well. obviously a lot.
So it'd be open for dinner, but you could upgrade to
To
a
a tap.
bar, but there'll be live music.
There'll be live music, yeah.
What time?
So last year it was 8:30 to 12:30. Yeah, I would think the music would probably be around that time as well. I do have some pricing on different live bands. They do range from about 800 to 1,500 on New Year's Eve. So that's something to consider, especially if we're, I'm not sure if this is something where you'd want to,
How much did you get a DJ?
I'll price it out significantly less,
Yeah.
significantly less. Those New Year's Eve bands are pretty atrocious.
The only thing, so when we've done at Sola Vida, when you have the dessert bar, like when you have the different packages, are you gonna do like a punch card? How are you gonna handle it? Is it like dessert bar and champagne? Is it dessert bar? Is like you can do one or the other?
Yeah.
What is your thought behind it?
I'm willing to hear what you recommend. I mean, again, this was just me throwing things together. The other option I had was a New Year's Eve, which happens during the day, which isn't as fun. So, yeah. So, I just wanted to kind of put some feelers out to see. But yeah, I like the punch card idea. I mean, obviously it'll be a nightmare to keep track of if we don't have something like that in place.
Right.
So, but I'm definitely up for recommendations on what you've seen work in the past. That's the most cost effective without looking chintzy. I'd really like it to still be,
Well,
nice.
and it's nice, so like if you have a $45 something for Christmas, like, every package I don't think needs to be priced out of,
Right.
I don't want to spend $60 every time I come up here
Yeah.
I spend that on wine and ice cream. Like for just like a special event, that's a nice idea. Without it breaking the bank. You still have a nice.
It gives a little
regular-
bit of an option, and kind of more inclusive, I think, for everyone, because these do come back to back to back.
Are you doing fireworks?
Not to my knowledge. That's something I would have to check with the master HOA. I wouldn't even be allowed to make a call like that. That would be full on master HOA.
So for like the holiday tree lighting,
Mhm.
I like that idea. You're gonna have like different stations? Is it between 1 to 2 and 7? I mean, between me and you, I'm not gonna come up here from 1 to 3 and then bring my kids back home and then come back out
Right.
at 7. I think if you're gonna do something, it should be more like kind of all within the same.
Well, again, you tell me, I use the same time frames that you had last year. But
We can change.
Yeah, you could definitely change it. I just, going based off of a base.
We want to bring the ease of everything, and we want to get as many people in here as possible.
Mhm. Well, I mean, we definitely could do it all closer to the evening time. I mean, or we could have the tree lighting.
Or we said we didn't want to have a lot of little events. What if
Put
we
it in
just
one.
take a day
Yeah.
and you've got your breakfast with Santa and then you're making your ornaments, you do your story time. Or instead of breakfast with Santa, maybe it's,
You just said ornaments. What were you talking about making an ornament? 'Cause I was thinking maybe you could put breakfast with Santa, do a picture, and then the kids can make an ornament.
Right.
All on the same day. Because you want to make an ornament obviously like on the
Yeah.
Yeah,
earlier,
Right.
or whatever day you guys think is better.
yeah. I mean, we could theoretically do the breakfast, and I could just, I mean, if we can find a Santa, if that Santa will volunteer, that helps a lot. Because then we can be a little more
Do we
lenient.
have access to a suit?
He has a suit.
This
Gentleman has a suit. He has a beautiful suit. I'm going to see if he'll volunteer to do it. But we could do the clothes. Terry said, to Terry's point, to have the pictures done long before Christmas.
You can use it for a Christmas card or, I think if you did all of these things on the same day.
And
on
then
the
we do,
third,
the Christmas Eve dinner.
Yeah.
Still.
Breakfast with Santa, tree lighting,
That's last year's Breakfast with Santa. I just pulled it out for reference.
I'm not understanding this tree lighting. What is the tree lighting for? Oh, like story time?
Yeah, it's I guess, did everyone volunteer to decorate last year? Does it sound familiar to anyone at all?
Great last.
They did decorate. I think that's what it was. It was the day of decorating. And then at 7, it's all complete, and now we light the tree.
So, and you left the tree up all month, or?
I think they left it.
Yeah, this is where I would definitely need feedback.
They stayed up for New Year's.
And you only had one tree in the plaza?
I think they only had one that was out here in the lobby, but they put decorations.
Decorations.
I think you should do all that on the same day, right?
Yeah, whatever.
And then here,
Because the golf cart parade's, it's in stone, it's gonna be on the 17th.
Yeah.
but I
Yeah,
think
that's
you
not-
end at the plaza and have like champagne and hot cocoa or something like that, and have something that night after the parade.
Yeah.
The only thing I
Easier
keep
for
hearing about
us
the parade
to
is
start the
tomorrow.
parade at the golf course,
Um,
and then parade around, and then everybody meets back at the plaza for drinks at the end.
And then you have like champagne and to your upgraded idea
Mhm.
without having to have
Or
the
end at the
chef.
golf course, or.
I mean, the only thing is, we would have to, and we're gonna need to anyway, be very militant on that parade route of keeping the flow, because the plaza isn't open past a certain time, so if it does run over, we're paying more, for people
Right.
overtime, and things like that, to have people here, so that would be my only concern with the after. But if we can stay on top of the flow and make sure that it's completed and done, I mean, that would have to be part of the advertising. I think there was a Santa on the route last year, if I remember correctly. And I think that was the breakdown, was a Santa jumping off a golf cart every few feet for pictures with kids. So if we can eliminate that happening on the route, then we should be good to go. But I will need to,
I just think we should end the parade somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we should end the parade somewhere where people can gather for an hour or so and have a couple drinks before they go home.
well, it is still ending here.
I thought it's ending on Black Wolf Runner here.
No,
Ending on Black
Oh,
Wolf
this
Runner.
one,
no, that's been last year, I don't know, but this is this year that I put through to,
Okay, so it is ending,
This, I had to show them the route. So this is, it's the same thing, it's just with better street signs. So it started here, they did all this, ding, 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 bum, 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 and then they wrapped around this way and came back this way.
Do that one on the route.
I mean, if you're gonna hit all the same people that you did last year, that might have been the thing.
we got 3 sections.
'Cause we have to-
I mean, we even got Fallen Oak section and all that.
Yeah.
Are they gonna be passing out candy? Because I heard last year they was passing out candy also.
I think they were throwing like candy canes and stuff off the carts, so.
Well, but here, I mean, this we can revisit. I don't want to spend an hour talking about
Mhm.
golf cart parade. I mean, but we can advertise a certain route, and if people want to come visit. Like Solavita, we just do Dunn Village.
Mhm. Well, I mean, that's up to you, just let me know what you want, so I can let the Osceola County Sheriff's Office know, because I can only have so much time to change that, and I want to make sure they have it up to date. But that doesn't matter to me where you go.
I do think some people are gonna wanna sit outside their house that don't have golf carts and watch it.
Mhm.
Well,
I
what
mean-
I'm saying, like, if you make it a thing to where it's all centered around this area and people can bring their chairs or whatever, or we go, instead of on the streets, we go along the cart path. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being on the street, make it here on the cart path, and then they have the route, they can get a chair where there's openings on the golf course or whatever.
And I'm not against that.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Personal opinion, the
I'm telling you,
going outside in front of your own house, watching the carts go by and all, that was special.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, I didn't want to mess with it too much because it was it was the most popular event last
Perfect.
year.
Well, let's not mess it up.
That's why I'm like, I'm not, I'm just trying to up it a little bit. I didn't want to make too many changes.
When we end, I like ending at the plaza and you have like champagne
One golf
or
course, one of the two.
It's
I just
somewhere.
think it'd be cool.
where we can just like,
Golf course might be better because it's centrally located and
It'd be
everybody
easier
can
for them to
home.
get back to their house from there. I mean, you can park, there's more
Maybe we
parking.
can have hors d'oeuvres and drinks at the end of it at the golf course at that time.
I'll talk to Camille and see, because we'll have to make sure then we're staffing both places again.
well, so can we start earlier? I mean, it gets dark at like 5:30, you know?
Yeah, it'll be.
Well, it's 5:21 right now.
Well, that'll also be, that's a month from now, it's close to the shortest day of the year, so
Yeah, like 5-ish.
the 22nd shortest
And then
day
you
of the
can
year.
have like, I like when, I don't know, well, you weren't here. Remember when we had like the chairs and the live music outside and they had all the Adirondack chairs and fire pit and we can do marshmallows or something down there. Yeah, I like it down there.
And
There's so
that
much land,
is
and you could do like
CGMA
orchards.
Championship weekend, so it'd be kind of cool.
It is.
You'd probably get a lot of activity.
And then if,
Yeah.
maybe if you have whoever's in the golf cart parade, it's $10 and you get to party after.
You like one draft beer and hors d'oeuvres or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a glass of champagne or beer and some simple hors d'oeuvres.
Mhm. And we have a fire
And
pit,
that's kind of
correct?
like the Christmas party.
You said there was a fire pit. Do you know if we rented that fire pit or if we owned it?
Y'all remember?
No, I don't remember that.
It was a member event. Terry, you were in Ohio. Fired.
Thank you.
I don't know, it was a member event that we had out at the golf course.
Hey, if anybody online has anything to say, go ahead and speak up, okay?
I was just going to say, it's me, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Hey, I was just going to say, last year it was so long that a lot of people, they left, afterwards. So if it's a little bit shorter, then I think we'll have more of a turnout, afterwards.
That's what I heard too, that it was like 5 hours long.
Yeah, that's too long.
Thanks too much.
Yeah.
It was way too long. Mhm.
So basically, we need to shorten it up. But remember, if we don't go into one section,
Yeah.
people are gonna be upset about it.
I think the key, Kim, do you think that if we kept the flow going without anyone getting off their cart, that would make a huge difference?
Yes.
I do think that made a big difference, yes, because a lot of people would stop and talk or, or walk up and hand the candy to them, which was very dangerous in itself.
Yeah, there definitely should, they should be moving constantly.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll just if we can make guidelines, if it wasn't because there were too many entries, if it was because of something that we can control like that, then especially if we do have an after event, I think people will be more, they can do their socializing after.
Well, and also,
Yeah.
depending, I don't know how many were in it last year, but if you say limited to the first 50 people,
Right.
now you already know how many you have to plan for,
Right.
feed and drinks.
How many golf carts would you say were in there? Guys, have any?
We had a lot. I would say probably 50 at least, do you think?
Okay.
At least.
So then maybe if we do a cap at 50,
50.
then we can maintain it for sure. We wouldn't want over 50.
I don't know if I do a cap.
Me either.
You know, but- Because we're at hey, how many golf cart things do we have? 200? I'm
We're
at
up to-
237, I just got mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're up to 249 now.
Yeah, if we have 250 golf carts, I think everybody should have the opportunity to decorate the cart and go on the parade.
I think the.
Yeah, I don't think I would cap it.
That's the problem, getting off the carts.
So we just have rules.
Keep things in motion
Mhm.
and flowing. And
And we'll definitely have some volunteers on the route.
so we
Make sure
pass
we're not
out
alone.
candy that way and not running cars. Right.
Yep, exactly, to keep the carts flowing.
So we should get in our golf carts and drive it and time it.
We should.
So,
We should,
yeah.
we should drive it, we should time it, and then, if there are specific places that we want to make as a stop, I don't know why you would want to, I think that's getting
We'll
too
do that this
complicated.
week.
Perfect, do
Yeah,
that, time
this
it,
week.
Yeah.
And we'll time it with a slow, we'll just take it slow.
Yeah.
so we're gonna combine the tree decorating and the breakfast with Santa into one day,
Right.
Picture two.
with pictures, and then we'll look into that kiosk.
Laura, she just messaged me back. She says it's basically an iPad that's set up. The photo backdrop, you can just make it however you choose. I guess there's an app. They also sell backdrops. Amazon sells photo booth kits that come with lights as well. You can pick whatever you want in the background so that, Santa and the kid will be there. And then the mom or dad can take the little,
So what we need to do, so if that's the case, we need to just buy one of those backdrop,
The backdrop.
the backdrop
Thing. Mhm.
curtain thing. and
Which we
then-
should have anyway if we're gonna continue to have any photo ops
I'll
at
get
any
you
of them.
information on that this week too.
Okay,
All right?
And then we can always call our sign place, and they can make you a sign or like a backdrop
Yeah,
for
but,
like $100.
yeah, but this one already had it done. It was sweet.
Yeah.
The way it's done, it's so easy, no photographer, you do it yourself.
Mhm.
They walk in, they do a picture with Santa, then they go eat.
And I have an iPad holder that can go on a thing, so I can bring that.
So for the breakfast with Santa, I think you do the story time, the decorating ornaments, all this at the same time. And then at night, do your tree lighting.
Okay.
With the do you have carolers?
I don't have, Camille said to have Mike play Christmas music on the DJ.
Okay.
It's fun.
'Cause there's like this, I don't know, it's a group that they do, that's what they do. They go around and do carols. Anyways, all right, so there's that. We're gonna time this. What is everyone's thoughts about Christmas Eve lunch?
I don't think it, I don't know. To me, I know my family probably wouldn't go to that. I'll go to all the other things, but the Christmas Eve lunch, everybody,
I feel like quite a lot of people go back home as well.
Yeah.
I noticed quite a drop off at golf come the holiday times that people go back.
And then they come back
And then
after the
come
first
back
year.
after New Year again as well.
So I think, I don't know.
I think we should do a Christmas Eve brunch, morning breakfast type stuff, end at like 1 or 2, and the people can go home and
Do the thing, get their,
get with their families, cook their turkeys and all that.
So that is still the same time frame, but you're asking for a different menu? It is lunch still, so that'd be like 11 and 1.
I think it should be called a brunch, a breakfast lunch thing.
Okay.
yeah, I think it's like filet mignon and lobster.
I don't think we need that.
No.
I don't think we need filet mignon. I think we need like egg,
I'll have Chef revisit the menu
bacon and like.
and not 45. Try to make it a little,
Yeah. Like breakfast.
like a breakfast,
We
like
should
a brunch
have it early
buffet.
so our workers can get home and be with their families on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
I think we close at 2 or 3 down at Golf
Yeah,
Farm.
yeah.
I think 2 would be fine, or 1 or 2, something like that. I think a brunch would be great.
Brunch would be better.
I
Have a
mean, we could
brunch,
even go 10
mimosas.
to noon or something
Yeah.
like that. 10 to noon.
All right, so we'll revisit that with a breakfast brunch menu.
And I like the simple idea of the upgraded options for New Year's Eve. And then you get a punch card or a lanyard or something.
And then if we do get the, a backdrop thing, we can have that section set up again for photo ops. And we can keep using that thing until it's.
Right.
Yeah, it was, I'm telling you, it was, even me, I'm not the smartest. It worked so beautifully. It was amazing. You don't need a photographer. Everybody can handle themselves.
Mhm.
Can, wow, a lot of stuff. Okay, I think combining some of these things that you said is a great idea.
Yep, so we'll combine that, we'll make that the breakfast, the brunch, the Christmas Eve brunch, we'll make it more approachable, more breakfast brunch items, maybe not $45 a head,
No, something cheaper.
something cheaper.
It's got to be cheaper. It's got to be probably in the 20s,
Or, yeah, something.
like a buffet or something.
Like a 20, what do you think?
I would have you guys put a price on it. I don't know how much stuff costs.
I think the buffets, if I remember correctly, when I was researching over at the Oasis, they usually go about $28 to $29 per person, if that sounds correct.
I think we should beat them.
That's higher. Like, I don't go.
More residents, those are more set for vacationers. I think we should be lower.
What do you, your question?
And not such heavy foods.
Well,
maybe?
it does
That's what
depend
the
on what
price
you
has to be
serve.
based on. What do you want to serve?
Yeah.
Right, like eggs,
Yeah.
and, you know, bacon and.
Sausage and some pancakes.
You and caviar and salmon and all this.
No.
No lobster, no none of that.
None of that high.
Fun foods.
And then we're gonna look at, are we gonna charge like a $10 card?
Yes, for an entry fee.
And then we have the party at the, when we're done, you get a drink and an appetizer.
Oh, for the parade?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think at golf would be good because we have a lot of room and it's
Yeah, you have
Championsgate
outside, we can
weekend.
figure
And we
out.
have the nice tent set up.
Everything's
Yes.
set up already.
Let me ask you this, so it's gonna be a $10 fee to enter your golf cart. What about people coming in, what do you think, it's $10 if you haven't entered a golf cart for the drink and appetizers after, or?
Yeah.
So 10, if you've entered the golf cart, you get to come, if you don't, then you pay your $10 cover to get it.
Yeah.
Anything,
But here's the thing, like the $10, does it cover one drink?
One drink.
Or should we just $10 and then just operate the bar as normal? Like just maybe have like a
Or just order.
couple drink specials.
Yeah.
Or put a price on, I don't know.
Well, and I'll find out from Chef what he recommends on that. I definitely think, if you're going to be serving hors d'oeuvres and things like that, we're going to have to put a price on it because.
Well, I think what you should do is charge the $10.
Mhm.
And everybody doesn't drink.
Right,
If you want to drink, you pay for your drink.
right. That'll be the maybe hors d'oeuvre bar.
And that way, the $10 will cover the food and not the drink.
Right.
And then you use
It's
the
not
alcohol.
idea for a drink.
But that will also cover free, but we'll have music down there. Maybe we'll do a little hot cocoa station for the kids or
Love
something.
it, love it.
If we had like a fire pit, live music or
Can I
some
ask,
sort of music DJ.
now we're doing this on the 17th, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, and I have a guy that will do live music for tips.
perfect. Well, he'll still have to have a certificate of insurance or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Full work for tips are my favorite.
RJ's wife's a DJ.
Ooh, that's right, she is a DJ.
Kira's a DJ.
Didn't she do, she did an event here already,
She
right?
did the Memorial Day event.
Okay,
Let me talk to her, maybe she can do
Valid
Christmas
tournament.
music.
The Valor. Yeah. That just came to me.
no, that's perfect, and I'll reach out.
She
to
did a
her.
great job too.
Yes.
Perfect.
And she's very fun and she knows a lot of people.
But I like the $10 a cart for the food, because now that you think about it, I'm gonna have more than one person on my cart.
Yeah.
And feeding one person for $10 is,
Yeah.
it's asking a lot, so.
Are we going to postpone the FSR event in January?
Yeah, that's indefinite right now, I have.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah, right now, I think with all this, with the holiday stuff, it's just more important that we get this stuff than to do an FSR appreciation at this point.
Can we come back a little bit to the next thing next up, which is the World Cup event?
Sure.
All right, that's the 25th, right, Faye?
Yep.
2 o'clock.
Do you have a flyer?
So that's going to be after the golf league.
Straight after men's game. You guys usually come up 1:15-ish.
It's going to be perfect timing.
This
$2
is.
Corona premieres, 2 for 1 domestic
hors d'oeuvre
drafts.
buffet that.
And then we're going to
Fountain
have,
soda included and the hors d'oeuvre lifts that Chef and I came up with.
Yes.
and then we're going to have the screen, correct?
Yep.
All right, and this is going to go out, I want to promote it. We're going to promote to the entire community,
Yeah.
correct? Yeah, okay, good. Because we need more people than just the golf people. How many people do you think we can house
Under that.
under the tent?
With the tent,
Maybe 70?
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
50s.
At least?
yeah,
Or
I'd
people are
probably-
standing around, and we'll have the TVs on inside too.
Yeah.
I already bought my bags and my candles.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she said that, I was like, yes, of course I'll make a flyer. That's perfect. It was wonderful.
The only other thing I was thinking,
Is this finalized?
No.
We put at the golf course, I know it says golf grill, but if you look at it, it doesn't say that it's just easy reading, you know?
So then we're thinking,
You put like down at the golf course, you know, under the tent, party or golf course party, or just so they know it's at the golf course. I know it says golf grill. Grill? Yeah, something like that. Just to identify it a little bit easier. That's gonna be a good time right there.
How much are the tickets for that? You guys put a price on that yet?
20. So that's 20, and it includes your hors d'oeuvre buffet with a salad, and includes all your fountain soft drinks.
Perfect. And there'll be drink specials, right?
There's drink specials, like what do you have, the
I
2
think-
for 1 domestic draft?
How you guys did that, I think that's how we should do, because you mentioned it too, how we should do the Christmas cart parade. Charge it
$2.
for the stuff and just do a drink special.
Yeah.
you have the map? All right, we're gonna do that this week.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We'll make it happen. And Nicole, now this is the one you're thinking of right now, right?
It's the same map as this. I just sent this one to the Pope, to the Osceola County Sheriff's, because you can read the street names. That's the one from last year. It's the exact same map. I just did it on this one so they could see the street names.
All right, and
So
you-
we'll just add rolls,
Yeah. Yep.
and then the $10, the party after.
So start at golf, start here, end at golf.
Actually, this ends at golf.
That's what we were talking about, right?
Okay, so we're gonna end
Party
this.
at the golf, yeah.
And that's good too, because that keeps me that doesn't change anything on the route for the Osceola County Sheriff's Department. That keeps all their stuff still the same. So I know that's a process to go
And then you can
through.
close this on time, it'll
Mhm.
probably be dead.
Yep.
And there,
And it's a straighter shot, everyone coming back around, back and you're there.
Yeah.
Instead of drive all the way, and that could take 40 minutes. But then you come back here, you did.
Yeah,
Start. Perfect. I think
that's more of a
pretty cool.
central point for everybody to.
Exactly.
Scatter, go home.
And like, to your point, just that outside tent area, you can't beat that. We don't have anything like that up here. So.
Right.
I'm gonna get low.
Yay.
I am gonna decorate our tent down there.
Anybody online have anything? Gary, you got anything?
Not at this
Bro.
time. Sounds good.
No, just at some of the meetings, it'd be nice to have handouts before we have our committee meeting, though.
All right, sounds good. I agree. All right, so we got the World Cup. Do we have the calendar or no? We don't, Nicole, we don't have that?
What?
The calendar?
For the World Cup events?
No, just the events that are coming up in the community.
Oh. Yes, I do. I have it here.
You have a printout of
At
that
least
or no?
we can.
I can print it off.
Calendars.
Yeah, I'll go print it off in my office. I can't print it off.
Hey, Faye, what kind of hors d'oeuvres do you guys have? Do you have something like that's the UK style, something from Homeland?
From my neck of the woods?
Can you do something like that and something
Yeah.
like American?
Yeah.
You know, two different types of hors d'oeuvres from both countries?
Yeah, that is an
Can I
option.
see your order thing? I saw like carrots or something.
Yeah, I think we should stick to the country for our hors d'oeuvres. If you don't like the hors d'oeuvres, what kind of hors d'oeuvres do you have?
Yeah, I'm trying carrots. Reserve buffet, house salad,
Yeah, I think we should research it. I think it'd be kind of cool.
I'm thinking we could go with that.
No hummus.
That Americans would
Yeah.
Well, like,
appreciate.
sliders and, you know.
Well, like, have you ever had like a proper like,
What's pierogies from?
Polish.
Oh, okay.
I'm Polish.
like the battered English eggs?
Something like that, why not?
Yeah.
I think
Those are
they're-
good, those are good. Or we eat things like beans on toast.
Beans on toast.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, that's what I mean, I have to think of something that you're gonna appreciate.
I think we could at least put something on the menu for
Yes.
these countries.
Yes.
You know, we'll figure it out. I think that'd be kind of neat,
Yes.
Oh, for the World Cup.
for the World Cup, right? USA food, England food. So. Be real nice, real nice. And obviously the alcohol there, we have beers from both places, correct?
Yeah.
Maybe the drink specials, you can do an American beer and an English beer.
Yeah, I was going to speak to the servers about
Okay.
coming up with some sort of cool drink special for like a,
Stick to the countries. Be kinda cool.
yeah.
White Claws is American, I hope.
Terry is very American, trust me.
I know that.
Like our lemonade.
I like one for them.
Okay, so last year you said there was about, how many carts? 50 to 75, somewhere
About
around there?
75 on by our house.
Yeah,
I
they said
guess.
to make rules, no
Okay.
stopping.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there definitely was spread out where sometimes it was, is it over? Is it over? It's been 10 minutes. Oh, here comes 8 cars.
And are we doing candy, no candy, is that,
I don't know how it went last year, I have no clue.
I have no clue.
I mean, it's not trick or treating, is it?
No.
I think we should scrap the candy and everybody should get down to the golf course
Right.
for a little after party.
Yeah. It's just to mosey on through the neighborhood and go to your party.
CGMG weekend
It's gonna be
is
very,
gonna be fire.
But you know, with the golf carts, everybody wants to be the top coolest golf cart. So somebody's going to want to throw candy and somebody's going to want
As long as they keep it moving. That's the,
Yep.
that was the clincher in the time and the space.
And then
And
I
again-
would say if we do have that issue, we take the pictures and they're, you know, we address it and
Somebody should be there like a monitor, like keep it moving and keep the traffic flowing. But when they sign up, if you tell them what the rules are, people in most cases know what the rules are from the beginning.
They'll be good with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And Halloween just got over. And the peppermints break as soon as they hit the ground anyway.
Mhm.
So I think if you eliminate the candy throw, they should be happy, they don't have to buy candy. If they're throwing chocolate at me, it's hard for me to resist. Chocolate candy bars don't break.
Wrong because I have a chocolate.
Ferrero Rocher.
Those are really good.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
No, I like ending and having a party. I think
I
that's-
think like almost like a must. Like,
Yeah.
you can't end it just be like,
Go home.
yeah, I feel like that's kind of like.
And then have a party, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come down 9. We're
So then,
gonna line them up, whoever wants us to line up the cards.
so the parade from 6 to whatever, and then the party's until 10, like we need to figure out what time the party is.
Let's figure out how long it takes.
Okay, well, here's an idea. What if we did like a Christmas movie night after the parade with the big projector as well, with everybody going under the tent? Like put something Christmas themed on. To
We
go
can put a movie
yeah,
on,
to go
but we
with-
still have your party.
Yeah,
And then the
yeah,
kids can watch
just
the
for like
movie.
something kind of in the background going on.
Yeah,
Bring
kids can watch the
bring the
movie.
TV down and have something going on in the background while everybody else is kind of getting.
So we're drinking White Claws and the kids are watching the
Yeah, the kids can watch, yeah.
I think we should start it earlier than, I think we have to start this thing at 5 o'clock at least.
I think
It's
we're
too early.
5:30.
5 o'clock is still gonna be light out. I tried, I can't get connectivity in here, so I couldn't see what time
5:43 right
sunset's
now.
gonna be. Yeah, but remember,
I think
but
5:30.
at sunset, because there's a lot of people with a lot of, the lights and all on there, that the cart doesn't look as good till sunset.
Yeah.
I saw people that were heading over to the start area last year drive by, and I was like, yeah, they didn't do much to their cart. Then when I saw them come by in the cart parade with it all lit up, now I see.
Sunset is 5:30 on December 17th.
Okay.
What's it today, right now?
Today doesn't matter.
No, I know, I'm just trying to, we're trying to compare, like,
So sunset is at 5.
That one I shouldn't need much connectivity to get that, maybe.
Today
Yeah,
is,
16?
says
16 or something.
5:53 for sunset this evening.
5:53?
For this evening, it
Yes.
says.
So it is.
Yes.
I mean, it's not even there. I think this is a good start thing outside right there.
So 5 o'clock.
And the
Well, because you're
17th.
seeing the brightness of this light, like,
Yeah.
The 17th, is it Saturday? It's not a work day, right?
I work in events, every day's a work day.
Saturday, perfect. So we're not waiting for people to get home from work. It's not
What's
like
a work
Friday.
day?
Yes.
I know, we don't have one.
I have the Hanukkah ball on the 17th. I just have to leave work early.
Yeah, are we doing anything for that?
Not as
Wait for
far as
people.
I know that
Can we
the
wrap?
lighting of the menorah, what day, is that the 19th?
I know we haven't done anything at all.
Nicole, do we have anything like Hanukkah or anything like
What?
that? Hanukkah? Can we combine something with
We can
this?
certainly
or-
combine something.
You, was it like 11 days before?
8 days, 8 days of Hanukkah.
Well, if you do Hanukkah, then you'll have to kind of do other.
Yeah. Kwanzaa.
And
Right.
other things.
Mhm. And of course, for everyone online, once I have the updated changes to the flyers that we discussed here, I'll go ahead and shoot that presentation out to your email as well.
So Hanukkah starts on December 18th. And it goes through the 26th.
18.
Like, do you guys light a menorah? Do you do any of that? Like light a menorah or?
I mean, I would imagine you would. Again, I started here in June, so I don't know what they did last year. I mean, it is the Festival of Lights, so I feel like we should have that expressed somewhere. I mean, we can definitely put decor
Is it okay to
around
add
for
it in?
other holidays. So we don't have to just decorate for Christmas. We can decorate for Christmas, Kwanzaa. So we can kind of have a little bit going on in certain areas of the plaza.
Can we add that in? So we cover them all. Is that okay to do that?
I mean, you're asking. I don't
I think
know.
we should research that. Let's get an answer on
We
the
should
next
see
one.
what, yeah, we'll see what,
We'll get an answer on that. We'll get an answer on that. But I think combining these, like we talked about, I think it's we'll make one event just way more better than what we're gonna have these little events and we can do bingo or whatever we wanna do on those. Things. But yeah, so the USA and England, real quick, I think we'll drink specials for England and American beer and American thingy, England,
Order.
order.
Yeah.
So,
Yep, I will get with the chef about the English side tomorrow.
perfect. All right, I think we're good. Are we all good on that? Matt, I know, for you guys who don't know, online also, we have a subcommittee to the activities committee. And Matt here chairs the pickleball subcommittee now. And he's just gonna fill us in with a couple things, let us know what they're doing, how they're doing it. And go ahead, Matt, take it.
What we're doing, we're looking at improving the pickleball environment here at Championsgate and also advertise more, get more people out playing. And we realized before we get more people out playing and such, we really need to establish some kind of coordinated rules, guidelines, understanding. Like sometimes, like this past Saturday morning, there were like 25 people out there to play. Challenge being 3 courts, 4 people to a court, you can only have 12 people playing. So there ended up being
Hey, can you guys mute your phone, please? Caller 1, can you mute the phone?
So those are things as a group, you see golf, long-standing sport, pickleball is a recently new sport. A lot of rules, a lot of coordination in place that people understand. We need to establish something similar with the pickleball community. And we also need to improve our facility with what we can. We have some ideas, some will cost more money than others. There's some simple ones. One of the things we're looking at that we have questions on is simple thing, the nets should have a strap in the middle. They're $14 straps. We have enough members of the committee that are like, we'll each just buy one, no big deal. But they require you to drill a hole into the court, into the concrete to secure it. Do we need permission from anybody to drill those 3 holes? We have one of the people that's part of the pickleball community works as a contractor as well, could easily do it professionally, has a concrete drill and everything else. Can we do that drilling? Would we need approval? Some other things, we have ideas for things like putting a second gate, because right now when you go from the furthest court, you have to walk through everybody playing in between. Like there really should be a second gate that people could walk in between the second and third court, so everything isn't being interrupted every time. You go to tennis courts and all this, the way they do it, it's kind of a common sense way to do it. Just wasn't built that way. It's something we need to improve. That probably would need would that have to go through the ARC, or how would we do that? Go up to this committee, to the board, or what would we?
You guys would propose it.
Yeah.
And then obviously you would get with the ARC committee and see what it is we need to do there. Come up with costs and everything, go to the ARC committee, get it approved, and bring it to the board for a vote. See if we can put it in the budget and where to get it done.
Okay.
So it can be done.
Yeah. And as far as just putting the straps in the concrete, would we need to go through anybody to do that?
This is a board of director proposal, so it's blank on the other side, so you can fill it out. It's also on Connect if you want to fill it out in a PDF form to do for the door and all of that. I'll ask Camille what we need to do as far as drilling in the center of the court. I mean, we're going to definitely have to ask, but it'd be great if we didn't have to hire someone to come up and do it. So I'll run that by her when I check in with her this evening, and I'll get you an answer on that tomorrow.
Okay. And we knew we needed to ask, that's why we didn't just spend the $42 already and start drilling, because we want to make sure we do it. We don't want our first thing that we do to be violating all kinds of rules. You guys, you're fired, you're gone. So right now we really broke it down to 3 things that we're looking at doing right now. The rules type of a setup, And we're going to include in that, trying to have like once a month where we have an open day to bring people out. It's going to be kind of a beginner's intro. Hey, if you want to learn how to play pickleball, some of us that are playing right now, we'll show people how to play. We want one day set up, some hours set up for beginners to come out and play, where you don't come out and play, you play against some of the 4 or 5 players that we have right now, and you're like, I'm not at their level. I'm never going out there again. And that's not for me.
Thank you for saying that. I know, because I've been wanting to go, but I won't go out there with those
I think
players.
that's a great idea.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's some people that are very good. And if you play against them the first time, it's very intimidating. I know my first time out there, one of the players that posted something on Facebook, so I was like, oh, why not? I'll go out there. There were 4 very good players out there, and I was like, I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to get better. But it was very intimidating that first time. They were very welcoming. It was great. But at the same time, it was just kind of so we do want to make it more inviting, and also the possibility of having like a ladies league set up and such. So the different things that we're looking at, that's the rules. But then we're also looking at some of the facility stuff at the same time. The shading over there when it gets to the summer definitely doesn't cut it. One shade, like 4 or 5 people could chase the shade. The rest of them doesn't make sense. So we have some ideas there that we'll be bringing up, proposing, and I'll definitely read this so I better understand it, and we'll look at that. And that's really all I have for right now. Because we're brand new, we have a lot of ideas. We're probably going to be meeting weekly for a few weeks. We had met twice before the board approved this as a subcommittee. Now we've met yesterday, and we are meeting again at least next Tuesday, so we can get stuff rolling, because we realize right now if we meet once a month for an hour, we're never going to get anything done.
Takes a while.
It's going to be stale. It's going to be stagnant. Even listening to some of the stuff you're talking about here, I'm like, I bet you guys probably got to get together again, probably in the next couple of weeks, and probably can't wait a month to the next, because then it's 2 days before the golf
I'm like
course.
twitching to go out to the golf course right now. I want to do it tonight. But I really think that the intro, let's pick a day, let's reserve it for. Nicole can advertise it, put it out.
Because I do have a lot of people who come in asking, they're like, what is that? I've heard of pickleball. It's very, very popular. And I think you're going to have a big interest. So I like that there'll be something approachable for a novice. And a quick question on your actual courts out there. Are you still seeing a lot of flooding from the sprinklers? That's something that I'm actively working on, them moving the placement of some of those sprinklers. I know I have Miguel out there cleaning it off. Are you seeing any improvement?
We know last week, I believe it was on Friday, the Down to Earth rep was there. It couldn't have been Wednesday, because it was Tuesday, last Tuesday, because we played a day early because the storm came through. He was looking at making some adjustments and stuff. Friday really didn't count because everything was wet still.
Right.
And then out there this morning, the court was dry.
Okay.
So speaking of this morning, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll
Definitely keep me up to date with that, so we can make sure we got to keep you guys dry out there.
Yes.
Yeah, they get really sweaty out there. They do.
Yeah, another thing we definitely need to look at is as far as how guests work. Because like part of one of the challenge people ran into when we had 25 people here last Sunday or last Saturday was some guests that were from outside the area. They were guests of a resident, but the resident wasn't here. So then it's kind of and when we get into liabilities and everything else, but we can't necessarily send people. That's why we need to create rules, run the rules up through the activities committee and through the board, and get the board to get the stamp of approval, then get a sign made and posted there. These are the official rules. So that is actually the first thing we're going to work on. We're working on that next Tuesday.
Perfect.
So ideally for the next board, can get it out to Terry, so Terry can get everybody on the activity committee to concur with it, so we can get it up to the next board at the next HOA meeting and get a thumbs up so we get something posted. Because fortunately, we haven't had anybody get hurt. I know a couple people have gotten hurt before I started playing, but I haven't had anybody get hurt recently. But it's a sport where people get hurt from time to time.
Yeah.
December 5th, that's our next meeting.
Okay.
So we want to get it on the agenda, let's get it.
Really quick, it's sundown right now.
5:56.
Yep. So it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Well, we
I
can
think
probably
at
start that at
5:30, if we change the parade to 5:30.
The time is.
Meet at 5 o'clock
Yeah, start at 5:30.
at the starting point at 5.
So is he included in our emails?
No, we can get them.
Yeah.
Do you have everybody's emails and names and everything like that?
I think so. Yeah. So is he on the list though, like with our communication?
is not on your, we'll connect, okay, Matt?
Okay.
Yeah,
Are you
that
okay
way
with that?
you know when our next meetings are and, you know, if you have ideas or whatever, you can just shoot them.
Okay,
He always does his meeting the day before this meeting.
Oh, good.
yeah. Yeah, we scheduled ours we figured the third Tuesday, be the day ahead of the third Wednesday, so if there's anything we need to bring up. So,
Perfect. All right, I think we're good. We're good?
no questions, no other questions for me? Cool.
Well, I like that idea about the intro to pickleball because this one invited me and he's like, don't come up like, he's like, we gotta practice before.
No, that's why.
You can't just go.
And admittedly, pickleball has some weird rules. I avoided coming out to play for a year, although my brother-in-law kept telling me to go play because of the weird name.
Well, it's like, what do you buy? Like, how do you know what to buy? Your equipment, you
Yeah.
know? So I'm excited.
Yeah, cool.
We off? We good? All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank
If anybody
you.
needs anything, we got your back.
Thank you.
Oh, my other question, do we have to, should we all sign these? Like,
Yeah, everyone should sign an individual one.
okay.
Yep, then I have a whole.
So once I read it, then just sign it and turn it back in.
Just sign it.
This conference will now be recorded.